Well, g'day everyone. Recently I was contacted by a company called Orico, I think that's how you pronounce it. They asked me if I'd be interested in looking at some of their gear, and I particularly was interested in looking at one of their hubs. I am a big Mac user, but these will also work with Windows machines as well, and they would work with iPads and things like that too. But what I wanted to look at was something that's reasonably priced for you guys particularly, because most Thunderbolt devices are very, very expensive. So I wanted to have a look at this to see if something that was much more affordable was also very good as well to use. So I thought that I'd take a look at this one. Now, they haven't asked to see this review before I post it. I'm basing this totally on my findings, which is how I always work. Yes, I get to keep this, but they haven't asked me to review it or give positive reviews or anything like that. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at what this is, what's in the box, and then we'll go through all the features that this unit has. So inside the box, you get the actual unit. You just get a power cable, and then you also get a Thunderbolt cable. Now, this is good because Thunderbolt cables are quite expensive, and often you don't get these in boxes with things. You have to go and purchase these separately, so it's nice to have that included. And it looks like it's a really nice quality one too, with sort of braid that goes around the outside, so that's nice as well. Now, the unit itself has some nice sort of rubber feet on the bottom for when you stand that up, and I'll show that sort of standing up a little bit later. And then you've got multiple different ports on the front and also on the back here that I'm going to take you through when I go to the website, and I'll show you what these all are. It's easier where they're labelled to show you what they look like and what they do, because there's different performances depending on which port you use. But the unit itself is very, very well made. Like I said, it's all aluminium, so it feels really, like great quality, has decent screws that sort of screw everything in together, and the nice feet on the bottom. And you can see here that it's not too big, so it's actually quite a nice size when you're looking at this. So what we'll do now is we'll go onto the website and I'll show you a bit about the specifications that this has, and then after that we'll just do a little bit of testing. So the website itself is Orico. I think that's how you pronounce it. And the unit that I've got is the TB3. I'll leave all the links for this down below so you'll be able to get the information that you need down there. It's a very nice looking unit, as I showed before, but I'm going to take you through the ports just to show you what there is on this unit. There's some on the front and also on the back. If you look here, it just says there's 15 in one ports. It has fast transmission up to 40 gigabytes per second. It can also have high resolution, so you can connect this up to monitors if you want 4K 60 resolution as well. It does have fast charging. It's rated at 60 watts. There is an Intel chip inside. It also has fast cooling, or it keeps itself cool due to the fact that it has that aluminium body. This is the back of the unit, or the front, I suppose. It can depend which way you face it. There's an indicator light up the top. There's also a stereo headset out here as well. You've got these two you've got a micro SD card slot here, and also your standard SD card slot that you can see through here. You've got a 10 gigabits per second Type C times 2. They're your two USB slots that you've got there. And then you have 4 USB Type A slots. Now, two of them are, there's one that's 10 gigabits per second. There's also two that are 5 gigabits per second. They're these two. And then you have one which is 480 gigabits per second on the bottom. Now, I suppose a good idea might be if you can get a labeling machine and actually label these, because there's so many different variations on this that you can use. So that might be, a good idea to do that as well. On the other side that you're looking at here, and I suppose this probably will be your back due to the fact you've got your power switch down the bottom. This is your 60 watt DC charger. It goes into here. At the top up here you have DisplayPort 1.4, and like I said, that will give you 4K 60. You've got a 40 gigabits per second 60 watt USB Thunderbolt 3 port here, 40 gigabits per second 15 watt port here. So it just depends on how much charge you'd like to send through. So if you're charging your laptop, for instance, you may want to use the top one, which will give you more power to charge that up. And then, like I said, you've still got a 15 watt Thunderbolt 3 port. They'll both do 40 gigabits per second there as well. So that's really nice there too. You've also got a 480 megabits per second USB Type 2 slot here, and you've got a DC charge. It's an SPDIF, so for your audio, you've got that there as well. That's here. And you've also got a gigabit Ethernet connection as well, which is your RJ45. So, you know, you really do have an amazing amount of inputs that you can put onto this device or connect into this device in such a small little unit. Just to quickly go through these, it does have an Intel chip inside. It ensures faster speed and performance. And you can see it does fit really nicely next to your laptop as well. If you want to sort of, travel with it or keep it on your desk, it's a nice looking unit that you've got there as well. Now you can daisy chain. This is the beauty of using a Thunderbolt interface. You can daisy chain 3 Thunderbolt 3 devices to create a more efficient workspace. So I would probably use it the same way as this. It would go from my hub into my Thunderbolt enclosures that I have for my RAID storage. So I'd probably run it that way as well. I mean, there's multiple ways that you can run this. And like I said, you can have an extra connector if you to go to a display if you wanted to run another 4K display from this as well, which is a really nice feature. And it also says up here that you can use your 15 watt for phones or other things that didn't take much power to charge up. Your 60 watt would be for high power devices, for things like, laptops and things like that. Now, I have noticed on a few of these devices, they do get quite hot. So this is going to be interesting with this one having the aluminium body there. It should help to get the heat out of that, which is really nice as well. I'll test that to see how it works. Now, just your compatibility, they're saying basically it will fit. It'll work with any Mac OS device, actually. MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, and the iPad Pro, iPhones, and things like that you'll be able to put in. If you are running Windows machines as well, there are Windows machines that have Thunderbolt 3 that you could take advantage of it. And then, obviously, you could connect things like projectors, TVs, and monitors as well. So just to give you an idea about where you would put your input devices onto this, if you have USB-C devices, obviously you will put USB-C over here onto these. But if you were connecting things like keyboards, mouse, and phones and things like that, you could connect them to these other devices. You could also put things like your keyboard into the lowest USB one down here. But you may have to mix and match and work out what's best for you. Now, your gigabit Ethernet is great because it means you can get really fast downloads, and that's really beneficial, particularly if you're using things like hubs for storage, which are online. Gigabit Ethernet makes that much better if you're networking to other computers and things like that. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I'm going to run a few tests with this. I'm going to use speed disk that you can see on the screen there. But I've got this connected to my MacBook at the moment, my MacBook Pro, and then I've also got it connected to, the reason why I've got it connected to my MacBook Pro so you can see the screen here, I've also got it connected to an NVMe drive, which is an LACIE drive. But I thought we could start first with some tests here, which is putting an SD card in. Now you'll see it'll mount on the screen in a second, so that's it there. Now I'm going to create another folder because I'm going to copy this over, these files over. So I'll just call this one test and enter. Now if we open this folder up, these are for my A6400. So I mean, if I just quickly open this up in preview, you'll see there that this is just a wedding that we did. That's my beautiful wife there, Kerry, getting ready to capture the bride coming in. Now, if I do get info on this, you'll see that the file sizes are 25.3 megabytes for each image. And I've got 28 of them on this card. So what I thought we'd do is I'd just do a test to sort of see how long it takes to come over, because I'm pretty sure these are only UHS 1. So, they're not going to be the fastest, but I mean, at a pinch, at least you've got something on this that you can use. So let me just go Control A, and I'm going to press start the second that I drop these into here, and we'll see how long this takes. It gives you an idea about the performance of the card here. So I'm dropping now. So there you go. It was about 32 seconds. So you can see, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm sure it's UHS 1. It would have been much better. I think that's the only downfall, I think, with this. But I suppose for the cost that you're paying for this, that's an acceptable thing to sort of grab. At least you can download things. Now, if I stick in next to it, the other drive, so this is one of the micro USB cards. I have to move it over off the other screen so you can now see that it's here. DCM. This is GoPro footage as well. Now, how big are these? Let me see if I can find something that's a reasonable size. Right, that's 481.5 megabytes, that file there. So I'm just going to drag this over. So let me go reset. I'll just drag this onto the desktop there, and we'll see how this goes. So that was 21 seconds, 21.85 seconds. So that's not bad, actually. Now let's try putting the Samsung disk in. So I'll stick this into the USB-C here. So that's mounted now. If I get an info on this, this is a T7 drive. It's a 1 terabyte drive. So what we'll do is I'll do a speed test on this and we'll have a look at how it goes. All right, so now we've got it mounted. I'm just going to make sure it's on the correct drive. Let's go to select target drive and open up the drive, which is HD2. Go open and then press start. Now, I have noticed that there is a performance, or it's not as good as it should be. That's not this unit. It's actually the Macs side of things. If you put this onto a PC, it would be better through USB-C than what this is. I think they're rated at 800 or something. So the performance is still acceptable if you look at what it's able to do through here. But like I said, if you were running this on a Windows machine, you'd get a little bit better performance. But at least this gives you an idea about what you'll get out of a T7 type of drive with this. So what we'll do now is I'll stop this and we'll check the NVMe drive that I've got. All right, so now I've mounted this LACIE drive. So let's select that. This one is a 2 terabyte NVMe. So let me select this here and select target drive. And if we go down to LACIE and open that up, and we'll do a speed test on this. So you can see this is reading pretty well. 1700, nearly 1800 there, and 27 down as well. So this drive is very, very fast. So the Thunderbolt is working very, very well with an NVMe drive. It seems to be just the USB-C drives that slow down, which can be a bit of an issue. I'm just feeling this too to see if it's getting hot. It's actually not bad at all. It's only just barely warm. So, you know, I'm very happy with that performance that's giving me. So I think that's actually pretty good. So what do I think about this unit? Well, I think it's really good, in fact. Apart from the SD cards, which I think it would have been better if they were faster, but to have them in this unit like that is great. And in fact, it's just as fast as what my MacBook has, so at least they're there. Everything else is terrific. I mean, I love that it's got the 2 Thunderbolt ports. I love the fact that it's got the 2 USB-C ports at the front, and even your USB-A ports, different speed versions and things like that. I love the way it'll charge up your laptop or other devices. That's terrific as well. It doesn't get hot either, so it just gets basically warm. The performance is very good, particularly in NVMe drives. The USB-C drives are okay, but that's not this unit's fault. I think that's a problem with the Macs that I've noticed. They do tend to be slower with USB-C hard disks than what, say, a Windows PC will be, but that's certainly not Orico's fault. I think for the price, this is really good. I mean, if you compare it to other ones in the market that I've got, in fact, look, I'm not going to mention the other ones that I've got, but I have got other ones that I've paid for myself that are much more expensive. So I think for the price and performance you're getting with this, it's a really good little unit. There is a discount code down below. I don't get anything from those discount codes. They've just organised it so you can save some money. I know there's 3 of them. The US one, I think, to be honest, is the best one that's there. You save a lot more money by buying this directly from the US Amazon store. And there's a 10% discount if you buy that through them. There is an $80 discount through AliExpress at the moment, but it's much more expensive through AliExpress. I think that's just the Australian dollar conversion. But if you're in the US, it's around about $190, which is amazing value for this, and then you get a 10% saving. If you have any questions for this, leave them down below. Thank you so much, Orico, for sending me this. I keep getting confused with the name. And I'm hoping that I can have some other things to show you from this company as well, because it seems like the gear is really great. Apart from that, everyone, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.